What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. This market watch is going to have a couple more discussion-based things like these world premiere packs that are going to be coming out. A lot of people want to know my opinions on those. And if I look a bit different, my ceiling is leaking from my water heater. People are going in and out on that right now, so do bear with any live editing done cheap. But yeah, looking more like the typical Yu-Gi-Oh player. We have this pack on pre-sale, and as I've said many times before, if it's a pre-sale item on TCG Player, there's not a real incentive for competition, yet we are seeing sales rates on this that are pretty concerning. A lot of people starting to bite with this brand new listing. This box only has 10 packs in it. Do be aware of that small text at the bottom. I don't think the product page necessarily says that, but it says 4 cards per pack, 10 packs per display box. Now, Worlds cards in the past have done relatively well for themselves, but also the Breaker and the Mirror Force are in a separate envelope, the typical World Celebration thing, and they will be given out at locals. I think it's one for winning, one given out at random to somebody who participated. Last year's envelope is the worst performing one in all of the envelopes inceptions. I think even early on, the cheapest one before was around $240, and this has stayed around $100. People are piecing it up on TCG Player to where the Swords is selling alone for what the sealed envelope with cards are actually selling for. I mean, you do have to go through listings, make sure it's not like this first one where it's envelope only, but yeah, people are spending over here what you can get both cards for, and I guess that's the beauty of the free market, isn't it? But do be aware that this promotion has been seeming to go cheaper and cheaper over time. This is a huge shakeup, a huge refresher, which has the conversation going. Breaker's a classic card. It's played in GOAT format. GOAT format can still get hype depending on what happens, although time travel to Time Wizard is going to create a little less hype. And Mirror Force spans the test of time for a lot of formats. I do think that this is something that can age well, that can be looked favorably upon, because when it comes down to it, we have examples of past Worlds packs that did very well for themselves long term. So I get the hype going in. I do think it'll be good to get at your locals, supporting your locals, hopefully, if you have a good locals to support. That's always an asterisk also. Like, you have to like your locals to be, you know, giving that support, unless it's the community surrounding and you're like, okay, this is the only place we have to gather, the lesser of two evils. But this is not it right here. This is definitely not the way to be purchasing currently, in my opinion. Primite Lordly Load also got a lot of conversations on Twitter with its reprint in the 10s. I believe it's a secret rare also, and people were complaining about same rarity. Fair enough. It should have been downgraded if anything, but this once $120 card, which a lot of people forget, it was $120. It's the chase card in battles. This is the top card over here that is not a Starlight rare. So when people are going, no one's opening battles for that, you're wrong. People definitely are. And why I'm bringing this up is for my UK EU audience. Y'all get battles like a week before the 10s, and this set gets even worse. It was already failing. It was slowly coming up a little in the US, and the chase card's already up for reprint, and it sparked the whole, this isn't your personal stock market thing, and I'm like, no, I'm talking about stores struggling to sell product, and they're getting it in late, and this is the chase card, and all these different takes. It might be me biting on rage bait to have people say, you want to open this for the top chase card, but I'm biting on it, and I do think there are people who would open battles to get this along with chibi cards, along with others. It's a good mix of casual and collector to a degree. A lot of people ended up not liking the chibis, and there's still the Starlight rares and a Blue Eyes, but it did do a job of balancing a little bit of meta work into it as well. Speaking of that's aged well, finally above MSRP are sealed cases of last year's 10s. I'm still harsh on these 10s. I think the pull rates are not worth it at all. They bloated the set, but inside are things for casuals, collectors, and competitors. There's actually still people collecting modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Weird. Like, you have the Blue Eyes, and everybody was excited about that, right? Like, there's not too many that weren't that excited to see it be easier access into their collection where they're not having to pay nosebleed prices. That was a good one. But overall, easy access starlights that are hurting the whole ecosystem become attractive all of a sudden because you're getting them over and over and getting that shot at the cards, along with metagame cards that have aged somewhat well, even if they're not pulled all that often, like 1 in 4 cases. Yikes. Over here, Draco Tales continue to get more expensive and really take over the top of the set. I'm just floored by how RAW continues to go up in price. That is just crazy, in my opinion, for how people are not as strong on collector rares. Yet max rarity Draco Tail, the supers are becoming $4 to $5 on certain cards that are rares. Like, people are really spending into this deck over every one, and I feel like Twitter is the one who, like, wait, that's good soup, are really latching onto this deck, as Yummy is the one really proving itself in the metagame, and Draco Tail, as expected, is in 3rd place overall in performance, but it has such a bright future, fun gameplay that people are going in along with a little bit of waifu text. Also over in here, memes can be dreams and they can also fall out. This went all the way up to 15 and has its dent in the graph and is now falling back towards $12. So Yummy continues to have that equilibrium that I've talked about that I just can't believe, where all 4 of these are still trying to stick together. It is just so odd to see an archetype actually manage that. And you can see here Draco Tales are starting to pass a lot of the Yummy cards for the just gotta be able to play it versions of the Ultras. Vanquish Soul Holly Sue, I hadn't looked over here since she was 25, and now she's down towards $16 to $18. Nothing is saving value in Duelist Advance unless it's Art Mage, and it continues to see play. People are going with it, yet it is just falling out ridiculously so. And then we also have Dogmatica Fleur de Lis. We did cover this before, but the secrets continue to stonk. You have the animation again once a day, $22, and the sales are backing it. I did log in, so we should have more sales, but you can see here recently people are continuing to buy these. And for the final discussion, these have always sold really well on Amazon, but I wanted to highlight a Reddit discussion on random Exodia pieces because this is why vendors continue to ask you for these. Hello guys, I don't really play or collect, but Exodia was one of my favorites. Is 25 euros fair? And it's like, absolutely not. Everybody's telling him 25 is way too much. And I was going to comment what was already posted there. You could get the QCR full set of these for 25 or less. He probably doesn't know what a QCR is, but quarter century secret rare, you can get that whole set still because they're from 10s, like for around $25. I think that Exodia and certain cards just resonate outside of Yu-Gi-Oh! And again, that's maybe why it's on the front of our Worlds pack to bring it back all together. But people over freak out on this card, and then long term, it doesn't feel like it performs as well as the other top ones like Blue Eyes, Dark Magician Girl, Dark Magician, but it does bring up the rear and continue to climb. So I would say that it's overhyped compared to those, but at the same time it is a draw, and I understand why people go to it. So full circle here for you wondering why I'm talking about the commons and people getting hyped on that. I know that even I get a little bit excited by something like this. At least I think it looks amazing. I think this is a great refresher on cards, and I do hope that we continue to see Konami actually innovate, maybe go towards some full arts and stuff like that. But this is really cool to see. They could keep it Worlds exclusive too and create this hype beast series every year, but don't overpay. Support your locals. Go over there. I believe it, yeah, $5 per pack, and here people are spending like double. It's supposed to be $5. It will be in demand at locals. There will be people trying to clear off the shelf, but do try that first before overpaying people online, and then see what it goes for online, because already double when there's like only, you know, so many sellers, like it is starting to line up more. I think we will see this a little easier access than this, but the weekend also could end up really pushing it up. We'll have to wait and see. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these conversations, and let me know what you think.